Right, the recording has started. So I thought we'd start, Sandra, very gently this evening and then crank it up a little bit, as I like to do. Hello, Sandra. We're good, thank you. Just about to start. So we're going to start nice and slowly with some breathing, just to relax everything, because it might be a little bit, oh, first class back and all that. So all I want you to do is find a nice position onto the mat, knees bent up, feet hip width apart. And for the first couple of breaths and moments, just get yourself comfortable. Basically feel how different parts of your bodies are lying on the mat. You can detect any tension. Try and just soften those areas a little bit. And put your left hand on your chest and then your right hand on your lower tummy. And you can close your eyes. And I'd like you just simply to breathe in for a count of 4 and breathe out for a count of 4. And as you do that, notice where your breath is falling. It might at the beginning start to just lift your chest and not reach your tummy. But give it a few moments and start to think about where it's going and direct it deep into your tummy so your right hand moves and you feel no movement on your chest at all, or your very minimal movement. So breathing in for a count of 4 and breathing out. So breath is obviously very key day to day to keep alive, keep the oxygen flowing. And it's very much part of strength work as well. And from there, just move that left hand down to your tummy and allow the elbows to rest lightly on the floor for a couple more breaths here. Breathing in through the nose for 4 and start to exhale through slightly pursed lips for 4. One more set here. And then you can move your hands up so they're resting. If you find where your ribs meet and the little gap, just a little bit lower there, you can interlace your fingers ever so slightly. And the same thing, breathing in for 4. And out for 4. And this time, think about the breath going sideways and into the back of those ribs. And you'll feel that the diaphragm, as you breathe in, lowers towards the pelvic floor, expanding the ribs and the lungs and the intercostal muscles. And as you breathe out and your hands start to knit together a little bit, it's lifting up and engaging the deeper muscles even further. And this is the area of the body we want to engage throughout class. Breathing into the back and sides of your ribs, using the intercostal muscles, using the lats, and using our full breath. So do 2 more sets of breathing in and out for 4. And then when you've done, gradually open your eyes, take your arms to the sides of you, lightly resting on the floor, And double check your position as we'll start to warm up with our lovely pelvic tilts. So with shoulders wide and relaxed, using that breath on your next out breath, draw the tummy button in towards the body, just to soften the lower back into the mat. And then reset yourself up in that neutral position. And a few more here. And every time you do an out breath, that engagement through the lower abdominals gives you strength through the trunk and core of the body, allowing the rest of the limbs to move freely. But for now, as you breathe out, tummy button to spine, hover the bottom off just a little way, and peeling back down again. Keeping the shoulders as relaxed as you possibly can. Coming up a tiny way and then placing yourselves back down. You also might want to think about the feet. Big toe, little toe and heel. Pressing slightly firmer into the mat. Give a stronger movement. And let's come up to the lower ribs. So breathing out, curling the pubic bone towards you, hovering the bum, just resting at that lower rib. And then breathing out, softening through the body, placing your spine piece by piece back down to the mat. One more at this level, breathing out, peeling off like a string of pearls. Holding, breath in, and then breathing out, coming back down again. That's it. And coming up to bra strap level, breathing out, peeling off. And just for a little extra engagement and help, bring your fingers back to those rib cages. And as you breathe out, almost walk your fingers down. So you're thinking, keeping the pubic bone curl towards you and using your fingers to replace your spine back to the mat. So sometimes it really does help to give a little bit of feedback through your body. So you can get your spine to work piece by piece. And one more of these. Breathing out to peel up and keeping that pubic bone curl towards you until the very last moment on that out breath when you peel back down again. And let's work with the arms on the next one. Do some arm circles in time with you peeling off through the mat. Arms come beyond your head. You breathe in to hold, bring them up to the ceiling, and as you breathe out and peel down, bring your arms back down by your side. Ready to go again. A little bit of coordination, working through the shoulder joints. And then reverse the direction. So as you peel off, take your arms up to the ceiling, overhead as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, softening through the chest, peeling down, bringing the arms back round by your sides, ready to go again. That's it, lovely and smooth. And do one more set of these to really warm the spine up. Peeling off, arms coming up and round, overhead, round the side of the body as you peel down. Lovely. And from there, regather your thoughts. Tummy button to spine. You can come into imprint a little bit. So if you want to tilt your pelvis, so your lower back is fully on the mat, feel free. Bring your legs into tabletop one at a time. And we'll do some toe taps Think about squeezing the bottom to send the toes slightly further away from your body, and you're having to hold through the abdominals to keep your back safe, to relax the shoulders and allow the limbs to move. That's it. So as always, depending on how you're feeling tonight, if you want more of a challenge, you can take the toe and the leg slightly further away from the body. And that's as long as there's no arching of the lower back. That's it, very nice. Good. Remember to keep breathing. Keep those shoulders relaxed. And one more on each side. And you can take your feet back down to the mat. Lift the arms up. Reach them for the ceiling. Palms facing away from you. Keeping the arms straight. Widen the shoulders. Bring the back of the shoulders towards the mat. And we'll move on to our arm and leg slides. So then take one arm behind your head, keeping the arm straight. Extend the other leg, keeping the abs engaged. Breathing out to come back to the start. So use your breath. No one else can hear you. Nice and slow and controlled. Sandra, you can have your feet on the floor. So it's nothing too hefty at the moment. Just slide that leg away. You can hover it at the end if you want. Same for anybody. I really want to get the control of the abs working fully as we warm up. Nice and smooth. Little pause in between changing arm and leg. And keeping the back of the shoulders nice and heavy on the mat. Thinking width. I find it very difficult to keep my arms straight, so I have to concentrate really hard. And you might find that your arm doesn't go behind completely to the floor, and that really doesn't matter. It's looking very nice. And one more set on each side. Breathing in to extend, breathing out to draw everything back, using the power of the abdominals and the breath. And then arms by your side for a second. We're going to do curl up, and tonight I'd like you to find the palm of your hand on the ridge of your skull, and then the other hand on the palm of the other palm. So you're feeling a lot more width and stretch around the front and back of the shoulder. And it also stops you pulling on your head. So breathing out, tummy button to spine, slide the ribs forward, just in for a curl up, and then return. So nothing different to normal other than the hand position. And again, use your breath. So the bum cheeks should be firmly earthed onto the mat. They shouldn't move. There should be no curling of the pelvis towards you as you curl up. Really nail that to the mat and use the sliding of the ribs action to bring you up a little way. You might not come very high, and that doesn't matter at all. It's getting those deep little muscles working rather than the big rectus abdominis, the six pack. You don't want that sticking out. You want it deep in the body to give you strength, like the trunk of a tree. That's it. Emily, make sure you're not pulling on your neck. One more. And then open your arms out and change the hand that was underneath. So other hand underneath, other hand on top, and repeat, curling up. So breathing out to curl, breathing in to return to the mat. Keeping the pelvis stable, not moving at all. That's it, good. Use the power of the breath, breathe out, make some noise at your end. That's it. Good. 2 more of those. And if you need to hug your knees in for a little breather at any point, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to breathe out and come into curl up. Lift our legs back into tabletop. And we're going to do some toe taps again, holding ourselves up in the curled up position. So really nailing those abdominals deep through the body into the mat beyond, palm on palm behind your head. You can press your head back into your palms and you should feel a little bit more of a stretch through the shoulder area as well. That's it. At any point, have a little rest. And we'll do 1 more on each side. Keeping curled up as high as you can. Lie back down for a second, hug the knees in. What we're going to do next is build on that. So breathing out, curling up, legs back in tabletop. And as long as you're happy to and comfortable, it doesn't hurt your back, we're going to do double toe taps down for 4, moving the toes slightly further away from us each time. This is not being able to speak and do, and then tap them back in for 4. So you might want to just play around with how far you go, because I don't want you pulling on your back. So if any point it feels too much, revert either to singles or just do a few. Slow it down a little bit more. Good. Finish the set you're doing, because you'll all be doing different things. And then hug your knees in when you've done. Keeping the abs engaged for those double ones. Brilliant. Lovely, Caroline. Good. Have a little rock from side to side when you've finished. Marvelous. That's a bit nasty, that one. So from there, nod the chin, press the shins away, and we'll do our single leg stretch, keeping the elbows nice and wide. So you simply extend one leg, keeping the chest up towards the knee, and the knee only stops at the point that it started. So you don't want to bring it into the chest. You want to think extending a leg away. And imagine you've got a nice COVID perspex screen between your chest and the knee. And use your breath. Use the abs, drawing in through the body, down to the mat beyond. That's it. And 10, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Brilliant. Hug those knees in. Have a little rock from side to side. Oh, how we've missed using our abdominal muscles. When you've done, come to sitting, and we'll work on a bit of rotation through the ribs. So choices, either sit on a block if you've got a block. If you know you tighten up through the hip flexors, you can have your knees slightly bent. Otherwise, nice and long and glued to the mat. So get rid of any excess bottom So you can feel your sit bones, tummy button to spine, arms out to the side. Ready to breathe. Relax the shoulders, imagine they're on a shelf, and simply breathe in and rotate one way as far as your ribs will go. Breathing out, think taller and spiraling up to the ceiling, and breathing in, rotate the other way. Breathing out to center. And as you do this, not only are we trying to keep nice and straight, have a little check. If you find that your legs and feet are separating, don't rotate so far because you want to keep those feet together. Oh, makes me sweat big time. So use your breath, breathing in to rotate one way, breathing out, use the abdominal strength. And don't laugh at me, Ali. Ah, that's it. Lovely, Lucy. You look so calm. Hilary, relax the shoulders a little bit if you can. Think sucking in the tummy to keep you upright. One more each side. I know it's a little bit hideous. Good. Then give the legs a little bit of a shake when you've done the last one. Separate them ever so slightly and we'll move on to our spine stretch forward. So arms out straight in front of you, shoulders wide and relaxed. Imagine someone's pulling your tummy in your body. You're reaching the arms forward on the same level they start and you're aiming your head between those arms. So you end up like a human hairpin. And breathing in to sit tall again. That's it, breathing out. Drawing the tummy into the body, taking it almost behind you so you come into a beautiful bend of the back. Reaching forward, but don't drop the arms. And again, sitting up nice and tall. That's it, carry on. That's it. So remember the out breath. The diaphragm comes up into the body to make room for you to move. That's it. We're trying to get a lovely curve in the lower spine. Good, Hilary. Lovely, everyone. It's such an intense movement, this, but it's really nice once we start to loosen up a bit and get warm. 2 more. That's it, Sandra. Good. And again, after the last one, just give those legs a little bit of a wiggle, wiggle your body and take your legs even further apart, ready for the saw. So arms, palms facing inwards, either side of the outside of the leg. Breathing in to rotate. Hand behind you, the thumb faces down, hand in front, thumb is up, reaching for the little toe, coming back up and centering. So breathing in to rotate, breathe out, keeping both bum cheeks down, breathing in to restack and out to center. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in and breathe out. So it's putting all of those movements we've just done together into one beautiful little package. And again, that center point, keep those shoulders relaxed. Enjoy the stretch. If you find the opposite bum to the way you're reaching forward is lifting, don't come so far forward. You want both bum cheeks earth to the mat to get that beautiful crossbody stretch going on. That's looking good, Ali. Lovely. And the same. Good, Emily. Yes. That's it, Maud. Do one more to each side or balance yourselves up. We're going to add on to this one. Good. So as we rotate, we're going to press that hand down on the mat to give us a little bit more reach. As we come up, arms will windmill behind, and we're going to squeeze the bum and lift up into a little plank. So ideally, hands maybe to the side rather than facing backwards. So you might need a little bit of adjustment. Then you can just press your arms to give you a bit of lift and stretch forward, ready to come up into a little plank. So it's not the most elegant, but please do join in. So I'm watching on my computer as well as on the telly, so I can see what you're doing and having a little rest in between. That's it. And remember, as you come lifting up, don't hunch at the shoulders, think oranges under armpits, press from the side of the body. Oh, lovely, Maud. That's it, Lucy. Gorgeous. Yes. Very nice. Good. Good, Caroline. Good, good, good. One more to each side. And then when you've done your last one, not rushing anybody, we're all finishing at different times. Come back to sitting, and ideally legs together, but if you need to, we're going to roll back to the mat and then roll up. You can have your knees bent, hold onto the back of your thighs to come back. Otherwise, arms in front, starting tall, hinge with a flat back, then think sending the tailbone away from you, finding, as we did with the pelvic tilt, the spine piece by piece going down, and either roll over onto your side, come back up to sitting and focus on the rolling back, otherwise rolling up again, nice and smoothly, adding on a little forward flexion before sitting tall again, ready to roll back down. So everyone keep your shoulders nice and wide. The more relaxed you can keep your upper half, that was it, Sandra, good. The more room you have to move. Lovely. Anyone who, oh, well done, Ali. Anyone who wants that extra challenge, hands on the forehead, Caroline. Thank you. Yes. Lovely, Maud. Good, Caroline. Make it look so easy. Yes, Ali, Emily, lovely. And Hilary, that was so smooth. Oh, good control, Lucy. Sandra, relax the shoulders. Yeah. Oh, well done, Sandra. That was brilliant. And if hands on the forehead is too much, hands behind the head. As in, not enough. Hands behind the head, try that one. Two more. This is wonderful. Good, good, good. When you've done your last one, finish lying down. And then simply roll over onto your front gracefully, if that's possible. Oh. So here, you want to feel your pubic bone nice and earthed into the mat. And have a notice of where your legs are. You should have the front of your thighs on the mat arms by your side, nose lightly resting. And if you want a pad or anything under the forehead, please do use one for comfort. Otherwise, when you're ready, you're going to breathe in and lift the shoulders, breathe out, slide them down the back to lift and hover the arms in a nice low hover of the chest. Breathing in, rotate the arms so thumbs end up at the ceiling, and breathing out, place yourself down. Ready to go again. So breathe in, lift the shoulders, breathe out, slide them down your back, which lifts your arms, reaching for your toes. Breathing in, rotate the arms to the ceiling. Breathing out, come back down again. And keep going, breathing in to lift the shoulders. Breathe out, slide them down the back of the arms. Breathe in, rotate and hold. Keeping the chins nodded, breathe out. Take yourself down. That's it. So you don't want to come up too high, thinking crown of the head reaching away, the heart lifting through the head and beyond to the opposite side of the room. That's it. So we're really trying to get extension through the upper back, so the base of the neck and in between the shoulder blades. So if there's any pinching of the lower back above the pelvis, don't come up so high. It's looking good so far. Good. That's it. Lovely. And 2 more. And lift the shoulder blades, slide them down to hover the arms. Breathe in to rotate. And breathe out to come back down. And final time. Breathing in to lift the shoulders. Breathe out, reach and hover. Thumbs turn to the ceiling. And breathing out to lay yourself down. If you need to sit back into a child pose, just to release any tension in the back, feel free. Take the knees nice and wide. Sit on the heels, rather. And then come back down to the mat. If you're still lying there patiently, just swing the arms around to the front and we'll move on to swimming. So you can separate the legs ever so slightly, still in the same position. A little bit more of a bum squeeze for this one. So breathing out, squeeze the bum, lift the legs. Then think about sliding the shoulder blades down to hover the front of the body. Keeping the arms and legs straight, tapping down either side. So we're trying to maintain a stable body and allowing the arms and legs to move. But I don't want to see any bendy knees. So it's really stretching the leg out behind you. And if it's too much being in a hover, just lie down and focus either on arms on their own or legs on their own. Nice and slow to start with. So Hilary, keep the legs as straight as you can, trying to lift the thigh off the leg, off the mat, rather than the lower leg. That's it. So trying to get the work through the hamstrings and the back of the leg. At any point if you want to just have a rest, please do. Then restart and challenge yourself to see how fast you can go without rocking from side to side. That's it, Caroline. Good. Lovely, Maud. That's it, Sandra. Lovely, Lucy. Everyone's doing a cracking job. Brilliant. I'll count you down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And definitely sit back into a nice big child pose. Really press your hands into the ground if they're in front of you, sending the bum back to the heels. Stretching out the back. And then scooting forward. Let's come onto our hands and knees, and we will do a dog because it's exactly the same as what we've done swimming-wise, except on the hands and knees. So if your wrist plays up on any of these ones, you can make a fist like a gorilla or come onto your forearms. And the same goes for anyone. I'll probably have to do one of those dodgy wrists tonight. So have a look, double check where your feet are. They should be nicely in line with the lower legs. Shoulders down your back and away from your ears. And then simply extending one leg and lifting and coming back again. So you can start on the mat, no lift at all if you want to. It's first class back. And as always, it really depends how your body's feeling. It's harder in the dark. And your gaze will be just in front of your fingertips. And the back's nice and long. And as we do that changeover of arm and leg, really engage the abs to keep your body from moving and dipping. You don't want to sink into the hip of the knee that's on the ground. That's it. Looking very nice. This is such a good exercise. All round strength, all round back strength, especially good. Lovely, Sandra. Good changeovers, everybody. One more on each leg. And then let's add on a little flexion in between. So as we take an arm and leg away from us, before we put it down, we're going to bend the elbow towards the knee. So you're curling up into a little cat or a Bruce Forsyth and extend away and then come back down. So extend, bend, extend, and down. And all the time when you take the legs straight out behind you, you don't want to lift it too high to dip down. So you're on a nice, long, low level, really. That's it, good. Lovely. Oh, you're making light work of this. Obviously, there's a little bit of balance going on, which is all to the good. Let's do 2 more on each side. Lovely, really nice and stable. Don't forget to breathe either, keeping the shoulders relaxed, even though you're working them. And then when you've done, just sit back for a second and release your wrists and any tension in the arms that you have. Good. Lovely, because then we're going to step it up a bit, back on hands and knees, and we will walk ourselves into a plank, legs fairly close together to start with. So again, either coming into a gorilla if it's too much on the wrists, and after just holding it there for a couple of moments, feel free to join me. We're just going to step out to the side with one leg and come back to the center and then change sides. So all the time again, you want to keep shoulders away from the ears. You want to suck your tummy into your body. And then stepping forward and back And again, all the time, keeping the back from moving, or just allowing your legs to move. And have a rest at any point if you need to. And then put it together out to the side, middle, forward, back. And you can speed it up a little bit if you wish. Have a little play. And please do rest at any moment if you want to. More, take your bottom a bit lower. That's it. Sorry. Yes, Hillary's getting warm. We like it. Work is being done. Good. Lovely, Caroline. Lovely, Lucy. That's it, Sandra. Good, good, good. Yes. Everyone's controlling their back position really well. One more set out to the side and forward, and then I will let you sit back and release the wrists. Good. Relax however you want to. Release the wrists, sit back into child pose. Swear loudly. Whatever is your bag, I do not mind. So I've got something nice next. We'll do our lovely side work. Starting, if you've got a cushion or pad for your head, have it behind you. We will do our little side chest opener. So imagine you're sitting in a formal chair. Your underneath waist is drawing up. Your shoulder is away from your ears and your palms are stacked. Pelvis is nice and stacked. Knees and ankles stacked. And as you breathe in, you take the arms to the ceiling. Breathe out. Rotate the ribs. Watch the ribs and the arm go round, keeping the knees glued together. Breath in here, and on your next out breath, re-engage the abs, draw the ribs back, which will bring the arm back. Ready to go again, and you have 2 more of these. So breathing in, take the arm to the ceiling, carry on rotating only as far as the ribs will go, so your arm might not go to the floor. You want to be in control as you breathe through that. Next out breath, coming back to the start. That's it, lovely. One more. Breathing into open, rotating nice and slowly and in control. Breath, and then on your next out breath, coming back to the start. And then when you've done, extend the underneath arm if you can. And again, have a little pad if you want to between the arm and your head. Extend the legs, make sure you can see the toes out of the corner of your eye. Arm on your side of your body or in front for balance. Breathing out, lifting and breathing into lower. So if you feel your legs go behind you and pinch your back, just take them a little bit further forward. And if you get any tension in your neck, look at the mat and or don't lift your head. Whatever works for you tonight. That's it. So breathing out, so lift. Both legs glued together and breathing into lower. That's it. And I know it's not the most comfortable thing being on your hip. But work with it, good. Lovely. Using that breath, keeping the shoulders relaxed underneath the waist, drawing up. 2 more. And final time. Then lifting the top leg to hip height, extending it away from you even further. Shoulders relaxed, lifting up the underneath leg and placing it down. So really take your concentration to the inner thigh. You're getting that squeeze to lift the lower leg. You're just holding the top leg where it is. Keeping the head down. Lovely, Lucy. Good. Oh, lovely, everybody. That's looking great. Stretching away the lower leg. Remember, the feet don't come into it. I don't think anyone's using them. They're just hanging there at the end of the leg. All work through the inner thigh. Good. Relax the shoulders in case any tension crept in. Underneath waist drawing up. One more. Then legs come down, but underneath leg comes forward. Top leg comes back up to hip height. And you can have your hands on the hip, doesn't matter. 2 kicks forward, nice and slow, and then a slow point the foot, squeeze the bum to take it behind you. So it might not go so far. I don't want your upper body to move too much tonight. Just focus on getting the leg working again, opening a bit of the hip flexor, just challenging where you can take it without moving the rest of the body. That's lovely. Good. Very nice. One more set to the front. One squeeze to take the leg behind. And then bend the knees up. And I'd like you to come onto your forearm. We're going to do a little cell combination thing. Hand, palm on the bony bit behind your head. So what we're going to do, we're going to lift the knee off. So we're hovering in the air. We're going to take it behind us. And as we do that, rotate the ribs. So you're not doing anything with the leg other than it being behind you. Come back to the center and then do a little cell there. So it's quite slow and intense, focusing on trying to keep the leg on the same level as it started. And only when you come to the front, do a little cell. Take the leg behind, rotate down at the same time, come back up and open the shell. So breathing in, I think, take the leg behind and rotate round. Breathing out to come back. Breathing in to shell. That's it. A little bit of balance work, a bit of stretch work, strength, coordination, precision, flowing movement, pretty much everything. Good. One more. Lovely. And then after you finish the last one, roll it over and do all of this on the other side, starting with the lovely chest opener as we're on rotation. So take yourself up to success first, underneath arm and shoulder away from the ear, palm on palm, sitting in that formal chair. Give the top hip a little bit of a way to give some length in the body. And then relaxing, using your breath. You breathe in arm to the ceiling, breathing out, keeping the knees stacked, rotating round. Breathing to hold it there for a moment and then your out breath coming back. And it's always good to notice as you continue whether this side feels slightly more restricted than the other or whether it's looser. And that's the joy of doing Pilates or any exercise. If you notice what differences you've got going on, you can make changes and you can modify accordingly. So still think underneath waist drawing up, away from the mat, using your breath, breathe in to open. Watch it go. Full breath there, and on your next out breath, coming back to the start. And when you finish this last one, set up for the next double leg lift. So extend both underneath arm away and the legs away, glue them together, little squeeze of the bum, underneath waist still drawing up, shoulders relaxed, breathing out to lift and hover, breathing in to place yourself down. And continue. So please do, yes, use the hand in front to balance if you need to. And although you're lifting both sides, you don't want to sink into the mat as you lift. You want to feel long and strong. That's Emily, I think just roll slightly further forward, maybe. The whole body, yeah. You're looking a little bit easy. Good. That's it, very nice. So using your breath, breathing out to lift, breathing into low. You've got one more. And then lifting the top leg to hip height, squeezing the inner thigh to lift and lower the underneath leg. That's it. So holding that top leg, reaching it away, allowing the feet just to be, and really take your intention to the inner thigh. Get it to move and work. Still aiming to stay as rock solid as you can, no rolling forward and back. But use the hand in front if you need to. That's looking great. And 3 more. Final one. And then send the underneath leg forward ever so slightly, lifting the top leg to hip height again. And it's 2 kicks forward. Use the sole of my foot. And then squeeze the bum to take the leg behind. Keeping it straight as you can. Keeping the underneath waist lifted. Keeping your head down. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Remembering to breathe. Very nice. Good. 2 more. That's it. And then after your last one, coming up onto your forearm, bending the knees, hands behind your head, but palm on the bony bit, lifting the leg to hip height, nice bent knee, and sending it behind, keeping it on the same level and looking down, rotating in, coming back, and a little cell. I don't mind how you breathe on this one, to be perfectly honest. It seems to be working for me, breathing out to rotate, breathing in to center, breathing out to do the cell, breath in, ready, and go again. Do what works for you, have a little play. As long as you're breathing, that's the important bit. And the challenge is to, yeah, keep the leg up high. That's it, lovely, Sandra, good. That's it, lovely. And the cell at the end. Good, 2 more. Fabulous. And then when you've finished, roll over onto your back. We'll finish with some bridging when you're done. No rush. Like coming back onto your mat, feel the back of your shoulders nice and wide, feet hip width apart, and then squeezing in, narrowing at the hips, squeezing the bum to lift, bending the knees over towards the toes, and then coming back down in one go. Couple more of these, nice standard breathing out, narrow and lift. And coming back down. One more breathing out, squeeze the bum, narrow into the body, lift up, hold it there. If you're happy to, peel one leg up to the ceiling, turn the knee out to the side, and slowly lower the leg towards the floor and bring it back up. And we'll do 2 more of these. If you're not happy doing a long leg, just do standard bridging. And one more down to the floor. Back up, turn the knee back towards you, place the bum down, place the foot down, ready to lift up again as your next out breath. Heeling the leg to the ceiling. Turn the knee out to the side, keeping the leg straight. Take the leg towards the floor and back to the ceiling, towards the floor. Oh, I'm having to work very hard. Towards the floor, back to the ceiling, knee turns back towards you, bum comes down, foot comes down. And that's it. So hug your knees into the body. Have a little rock from side to side. Then extend one leg away along the floor. We're just stretching out, so no panic required. Hold the back of the thigh, draw it in towards the chest. And again, simply breathe. Enjoy the stretch. And actually take a moment to notice the leg that's along the floor. Make sure it hasn't just flopped to the side, knee is still pointing to the ceiling. Then take the arms, the outside of the bent leg, and draw it across the body. And you can just look away from that leg for a moment. Getting a little stretch happening through the bottom there. We'll get on to a bit more of that. Then come back to center, change side, draw the other knee in towards the chest. Releasing off the hip flexors a bit with this one. We've worked quite a bit with the sore and all of that side. With breathing, breathing, breathing. Then take that knee across the body. Turn and look away from it a little bit. Still breathing. Come back to center, then bend the other leg. Cross the ankle over the knee. Send your one arm through. And if you want to curl up to help you, so you're holding the back of the underneath leg. And just draw both legs in towards the body. And you should feel more of a stretch around the outside of the bottom of the top leg that's bent up. And just let the underneath leg hang, do what it does. Not really doing anything. Again, just breathe, breathe, breathe. I love that one. So good for the period. Almost change sides. So literally, if you get a pain in the butt or a little bit of sciatica type of feeling down your leg, this is a great stretch to do. Quite stretchy outy for me this end. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Lovely. Then release the knees, roll over onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes under, keeping your knees bent, rolling up to standing. One vertebra at a time, head comes up last, nice and slowly. And we will finish with a side bend. So slide an arm down a leg. Imagine you're going between two panes of glass. If you're happy to, take an arm up overhead. Underneath arm comes up to meet it. Tummy button to spine to keep you strong. Reaching for the ceiling. I know you can't see me doing that. And then press down. I think nice and tall. Go the other side. Reaching down. Arm comes up overhead. Nice and slow. Underneath arm comes up. Reach to the ceiling. Big smiles as you press the arms down, feeling nice and tall, nicely aligned again. Oh, it's been so nice to see you back. I will just switch off the recording